Today I'm in Stirling, and unmistakably behind me there is the monument to William Wallace. This is a reminder to us of the Battle of Stirling Bridge. And when you look just yonder there, you can see the meanderings of the great River Forth, and you'll see the houses there in Stirling Castle in the background. Now, it's always great to do some research on Stirling Battle or anything to do with William Wallace. Such a significant part of our history. But there's one little difference here that I would like to make today with the chronicles. Now, the Wallace Monument, no doubt about it, it is famous and it is magnificent, sat up there on the Abbey Craig. Now, I've walked all the way down to the site of the old Stirling Bridge today. I've followed the River Forth. I've come back across it, and I've come through the scheme to where I believe the actual fighting with the English who did manage to cross the bridge take place. But for this part of the video, the English claim that Wallace and Murray, let's not forget Andrew Murray, his co-worker in this battle, were on the Abbey Craig behind me. Now, it's debatable how many numbers the Scots had on their side, but for argument's sake, 5,000, 6,000, 7,000, it doesn't matter. It would make sense that perhaps Wallace and Murray did go up there to have a better look, but up here on this piece of ground, right behind me, all around me, which is a magnificent piece of ground which affords you a great view over yonder of where the English would have crossed the bridge. I think Wallace allowed roughly about 4,000 to 5,000 across before his men descended here from the Abbey Craig. You get just as great a view looking out there as you take those houses away. You get a very good view of the English army and of its movements. There was dissension in the English ranks between Hugo de Cressingham and Warren, and they actually attempted to go over twice before they actually made the crossing. But it says Wallace's men descended from the Abbey Craig, which I believe would make much more sense. You're not going to take thousands of men up there in that craig. This is the natural viewpoint, and it's still in a natural place. It still holds. This is right behind Stirling University here, but a magnificent place, and it just makes strategic sense that this is where they eyed the English, where they let so many of them come across, and then when they made their move down there, because they could only cross two at a time, so it was an extremely narrow bridge, and they allowed so many to get across, and the English on the other side could only watch as the Scots charged, which was a swamp area that the cavalry could get up no momentum at all with their charge, and many of them perished by the sword or the spear, or they drowned in the Forth trying to get back to safety, while their helpless colleagues could only watch from the other side. But this is Hillfoots, and it's, for me, this makes complete sense as to the Scots viewpoint and Wallace's and Murray's, because they would have come down from the Abbey Craig. You see just as well here, time was a factor in this battle, so they had to be extremely expedient in getting down to the English so that they could wreak havoc and not allow them to separate and gain further ground. But I've walked through all of these houses down there, just to the left of Wallace High School. That's where it all took place. That's where the Battle of Stirling was won and lost. And the view up here today from Hillfoots is splendid. It's a spectacular view, and I'm glad at least this part is not built on, and we have a natural area dating back to the year 1297.